Welcome to part one of my playthrough of This War of Mine. Now, if you're not familiar with the game and you haven't already looked at my setup video, which is about 30 minutes long, I'd suggest doing that, which is sort of serves as an introduction. If you're familiar with the game, you can start, you can just pile straight into this. So, chapter one, I resolved at the end of my playthrough, which is all about setting up the objectives. So I can now move chapter one card out to play. We won't need that anymore. So into chapter one, and our objective is to try and get 3 meds or bandages to help the sick and wounded. Oh, also our objective is to stay alive. And as you will remember, each character has 2 actions this turn. So the first phase is the day actions, but before that we resolve an event card. So let us have a look. So right at the top we had 4 cold tokens, the cold space, which isn't good straight away. 4 cold tokens here, and we put those in there. I've got, if you've not seen the playthrough, I've got these out of the way. I can't fit them in, so they are there, and I will bring them in as I went. So yeah, 4 cold tokens, relatively peaceful. Place this card on the Night Raids deck. If there is at least 1 board up token in the shelter, which you board up the 3 holes if you can, we skip the Night Raid phase. Ignore this bit. Now at the end of the Night Raid phase, remove this card from the game. So at the minute I'll just put it on there on the Night Raid phase. Now what I can tell you is, in 4 games I've never managed to get a board up token, so the idea of me managing to do it on the first turn of the game, I don't think it'd even be possible. So each of these have got 2 actions. Now the first lot of actions, what are we going to do? I can actually get to that heap, so it doesn't matter which we do it with. I'm going to do that straight away. I want to try and get to as many things as possible. We can't have somebody jump over to that heap as well, because this heap's got to be cleared first, and then it comes off, and then we go to that. I'm just wondering, we've got 1 shovel, so we either put 2. There's no point putting 2. You take 1 with a shovel. So you can hear that's one of my cats just coming in. Apologies for that. I'm going to do this one. It takes 2. You'll see that it takes 2 actions to dig through the rubble. You'll see that, which will allow me to get that finished. Now I could get to that rubble, but then I've got closed doors either side. Similarly with that. So with 4 and 4, I don't think I've got enough to build. Oh, I could build a bed straight away, which I don't normally. Building a heater is the other important one, because that gets rid of the cold token. You can see you then burn 2 wood or 2 books or a mixture, and you discard a cold token. So that's important to get. And we don't need a bed straight away, so we need to try and get up to that. So what I'm going to do, rather than use the lockpick to pick that door, which will then hit my rubble, I'm going to poke about with Amelia, the lawyer, which I'm going to do that last, because depending on how many I roll, I can pick out a certain number of wood or components, but we're going to be searching a heap, so we'll see what we get and then decide what mix of wood or components we want. So let's do this first with Katya. She's going to dig through the rubble. So all you do is you turn that over. And now you've still got rubble remnants, you see. So you have to do it again. So it takes 2 goes. So she goes back there. And the shovel's there. So we're now going to turn this card over. Marco has been digging through the heap. Let's have a look what we get. So we get a weapon part, 1 sugar, 5 components, and 2 wood. So. Now the 5 components, I'm going to put that there because that represents 5 components. 2 wood, and then sugar and a weapon part. I've never even used sugar yet, so I'm guessing that's for making alcohol, possibly other things. Weapon parts, obviously you make weapons with them, the workshop, but this shows how poor I am at the game at the moment. There's a lot of things I have not done, but it will give you, as I lose in a few turns of this, it'll give you an idea. So add these to storage and we remove the card because that heap's gone. So that's it. So that is, they've had their action. She's now going to poke about. So let's have a look at what Amelia finds. So it's a 4. 1 to 4, so all she's found is 1 wood or component. Now if I'm going to build a heater next, it takes up 5 components. So I'm going to take a component. So she goes back. So that's the first action done, all of them. What I have read somewhere as well is your actions are in stages. So you have action 1, action 2, action 3. So for instance, if you get a stage where all your characters are down to 1 action, which I have had, and you've got a bed, so they need to recover fatigue, you can't have their 1 action as in taking it in turns. This is the way I understand it. You can't have it as each of them take their 1 action as sleeping in the bed. All the action, the first action, the 1 action, if you only have 1 action, you can each do 1 thing. So one can sleep in the bed, the others have to do something else. Similarly, you can't have people doing the same thing. So you can't have 2 placing new fittings. You can have 2 in poking about. I didn't actually go through all the other actions. So we've talked about those. You've placed a fitting. Spoke about ideas. So those from the red box go into there. Poke about, you've seen. As these are in play, they have actions on them as well. It's the little red hands showing action. You've also got outside, so which resolves a visitor's card, which I tend to do as I'm dropping down in people. And if I think because in the night phase you really need 3 people. 2's an out minimum. Once you're down to 1, you're in a real mess. But you have to roll the black dice, and if you roll a 1, a sniper wound, or 2 sniper wounds. So you've got to think about what you're doing. So, right, what are we going to do? Okay, well, we want somebody to build the heater because we want to start next turn trying to get rid of some of these colds. So that is what we're going to be doing there. We're going to build that heater. We might as well send somebody to get rid of this rubble completely. And then we'll send Katya, who's left, to clear that heap. So first of all, let's build this heater. So Marco's build a heater. They said 5 components. That's 5. And 3 wood. Oh, knock everything off. So that turns over to that side and we can place it anywhere. Let's place it there. So you can place it on the ladder ones, but I'm still at a stage where I like to look at things. So it's you need to see where the ladders go, so it just makes things easier. So next turn we can make a fire. Let's do this bit. So she's dug through, and this area is now clear. So that is just remove the card. All these, once they're done, they're just discarded. So next turn again, we've got some furniture we can search there. And for a final turn, ooh, so we've got another lockpick, 2 components, and 5 wood. Should be a lockpick. Yes, there is. Got another lockpick. May only be 1 in the game. No, found it. Another lockpick. As I said in the startup, there is a limit. So if there's it's not in the box, you can't have another one. So, and at the back of the book of scripts. If you're looking for something, you're not sure, it tells you how many of each. So I do refer to that sometimes, so that you can double check on things. So we've done the lockpick. We've got 2 components. I could put them over there, and then 5 wood. So I will put that one over there. And again, that one is discarded from the game. So that is the day actions completed. We now come to dusk. Each character should drink 1 water, so we discard it from storage. Now, you will notice we've already got a problem because we only have 2 water. So we discard them, so 2 of them are fine, nothing happens. We're going to have a look at one of the other characters there, because they either, I'm going to roll a die, and it's either raise the hunger by 1 or raise the misery by 1. I've got to decide who's not going to have a drink. Does it matter? Going to go with, we need Marco. We need Marco to stay as fit as possible, because that inventory 5, and he can open closed doors with a hatchet, if he's got a hatchet. Prowess 2 is good for fighting. It's good for fighting. She's the most empathetic. She's most likely to get miserable as well, so this way it gets a bit harsh. Catcher's not going to eat. They're not going to drink. So let me roll the dice. We've got an 8. And an 8 is raise misery by 1. So she's not miserable at the moment. Although you give me a couple of turns and they'll all be very miserable. So misery 1. But that doesn't take an action off her. You can see, all white. Now we'll stay over there, because the next part is each character should eat up 1 or more food, discard from storage. We've only got raw food, so we lower their hunger by 1, so that's good. So we've got 3 raw foods. So each character eats today. So their hunger all goes down by 1. So the way it stands at the moment, next turn, each of these guys has got 3 actions. Doesn't necessarily going to stay like that. Let me move back to there. And we're going to start the evening phase. What can you do? Sleep in a bed, set character fatigue to 0. The fatigue is 0 at the minute, and we haven't got a bed. So, not a lot we can do with that. Sleep on the floor. Place any number of characters to sleep on the floor. Lower characters fatigue. Well, that's there. You put them there. We're not doing that at a minute because they've got no fatigue. So, guard duty. Place any number of characters on the guard space to defend the shelter from attacks during the night raid phase. The higher the prowess of a guard, the better. There must be at least 1 guard on the guard space. But you raise their fatigue by 1. Now, let me go back over here. So it says, higher the prowess of a guard. Marco's prowess is 2. But. Scavenging. Place up to 3 characters on the findings pile, which is over there, to send them to the ruined city during the scavenging phase. The higher the inventory and prowess of a character, the better they will perform during the scavenging phase. Raise these characters fatigue by 1. Now, the inventory of Katya and Amelia is both 3. His is 5. So although his prowess is 2, hers is 1. I'm sending him out scavenging because he can carry the most. So we're going to leave Amelia to guard, which will not be easy because we've got no weapons at the moment. So she's basically defenseless. She's going to be able to use her fists. That's all. So Amelia is staying there. And Katya is joining Marco. The advantage Katya also has is she has the bonus ability. If we do decide to trade, which we can do in the central square, We haven't got much trade at the minute, so we're probably not going to this term, but there's no commission. You have to pay a commission, normally about 3 or 4 value. And I'll explain values. That's the value. So if you had 2 weapons parts, that would be value 4. That is the weight. So we've got these with weight 1. Every resource such as this and the water is one weight. So there's 5 value, but no weight, you see. So you can carry as many of those as you want. In fact, well, jumping ahead. So that's what we're doing in the night phase. She's on guard. These 2 are going scavenging. So we choose one of the 3 available location cards. What are we going to do? Now I'm tempted with, this is how many exploration cards we can draw for each of these. Because the closer ones we can draw more, we can do more because it doesn't take us long to get there. I'm thinking about the ruined villa. Or do we do the hotel? I think the ruined villa is more likely to have food. We need food. We've got no food. Water, there is a way of picking that up quite readily. Yeah. I'm going for the ruined villa. Choose equipment. For weapons or equipment like a lockpick, saw or shovel in the storage, you may send these to the scavenger pile, place them on the finding space. You may also take any tokens from the storage for possible trade. We ain't got enough to trade at the moment. What we have got is, because the basement entrance, there's rubble and a jammed door. So probably, I'm going to take a lockpick even though we're not going to need it, I don't think, because if we get raided in the night, that's one of our highest value items that could get stolen. So I'm also taking the shovel, which, although it's weight of 1, so that's going to reduce the amount we can take back. We've got the inventory of 5 for Marco, 3 for Catcher, so we can weight of 8 we can bring back with us. But that's going to count for 1, unless we lose it, which has happened to me. So exploration cards, I count out 12, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. And we put those in the unknown deck. I'll also just show you this card in a little more detail. These may come in with the scripts. Special findings, you'll understand those. We can return 2 exploration cards to have a look around the area, C422. So let's do that. I wouldn't always, I do it sometimes. But I'm showing you how the game works. So we take the top 2, don't look at them, and we just put them back. I just put them back on top because we've not looked. So then let's have our first use of the book of scripts. I'm not going to leave this out because you'll see other scripts in it. Well, I will because it's showing. 422. So we roll the black die, and then we go to a different page. So let's roll the die. 9. So roll the 9. See 1630. This is where you really get the flavour of the game. Half of it's a ruin, but there are people living in the other half. Apparently they aren't hostile and have a lot of stuff to barter, even food and meds. Let's remember to take something to trade if we're going to pay them a visit. Look for a civilian card in the residence deck and resolve it. Write down, trade 1630 on a blank token and place it on the ruined villa location card. During a visit to the villa, even now, you may return 2 explanation cards to trade with its occupants and see 1005. We ain't got much to trade. So this is where I was talking about. What we would do is we'd get one of these and write on it. I don't like doing that. It's ruining my game. What I will do, I meant to organise this before and I hadn't done. Let's get a piece of paper. Oh, some paper. Pause that while I'm... Okay, finally found something. So, trade 1630. That's just me. So as long as the Ruined Villa's in play in this game, we can go back and trade there. That'll remind us. There's nothing to trade at the minute, so we go back to the game now. So we've lost 2 exploration cards for that. So, what we do now is we turn. Peek through the keyhole. Return 1 exploration card to look at the next card from the unknown deck, or enter, raise the noise by 1, or roll for the noise. We've already given up 2 exploration cards, so I'm going to take a risk. I'm going to roll for the noise, and then you'll see what happens there. So that goes on the discard one. Noise is 1. Have I missed? I've missed out the civilians bit, haven't I, that I was supposed to be doing. Sorry, so remember that one, we're flipping back here because we had this to sorry about that. I realised that I'd jumped onto the trade because I was engrossed with doing that. I had to look for a civilian card in the residence deck and resolve it. So that's what I'm going to do now. And then we go to that card afterwards. So no, that card's not in play yet. So I've taken that out of the residence card. It turns out there are miserable looking people hiding here. Mostly older women. Place this card in the exploration slot till you leave this location. Whenever you take enter from an exploration card marked as private, roll the black die and compare the result with the empathy of each character present. A result equal to or less than a character's empathy means you raise their misery by 1. You may return 1 exploration card to talk to them, see 1, 2, 3, or trade with them. I'm not going to do that at the minute. Oh, do we want to talk to them? No, we need some food. We need to find some food. So that goes on there. The empathy, Amelia's... no, sorry, it's Katya. Katya's empathy is 7, so she's very empathetic, and Marco's is 5, so he's medium. So this could cause a bit of a problem, could increase their misery if we do need to take something. So anyway, back to this. So we're not raising the noise by 1. We're going to roll for the noise. Noise is currently 1. We need to keep that as low as possible. If we roll equal to or less than that number, a 0 is a 10, by the way, in this dice, we end up resolving another residence card. And they're not all as nice as that one. So, and it's an 8, so we're all right. So we got away with that. Next one. Now, this is good. You may ignore this card or search the heap. So I can either, to do that, I can either return 2 exploration cards and raise the noise by 1, or raise the noise by 1 and roll for the noise. And I then investigate a heap. So, which do I do? We're still on 1. Let's keep the explanation card. So we're going up to 2 noise, we're raising it and we're going to roll. So we need above a 2. And it's a 10. Oh, I thought it was a 0. It actually is 10 on the dice. I'm saying a 0 is a 10. So we're all right. And we now get to resolve 1 card from the findings deck. So you see your pantry furniture or heaps. We've got the heap. An electrical part, a filter, which is good because that if we can make I can't remember what it's called, but to hold rainwater, to get water, and a weapon part, plus a roll. I'll just get the items first. So electrical part, a filter, and a weapon part. Electrical part. Got these. Now these goes on the findings up here. They don't go in storage because obviously we're out at the moment. So now we know. Well, it also says roll the black die for special findings and see the current location card for the result. So we've rolled a 6. And a 6 on here is a mechanical part. Look on there, there's special findings. So we've got a mechanical part, which in the early days tends to be more useful than an electrical one. As you can see, they all have weight to them. Weight 1, weight 1, weight 1, weight 1, weight 1. So if we want to take all these back, we're already up to 5. Spoiler alert, probably don't want to take all those back. Again, don't take this as an expert way to play the game, as I've already explained. So add the tokens to the findings bar. Afterwards, shuffle this card back into the findings deck. These don't get discarded as such. Well, they're all the same. They're just different things that you find within each heap. We've got 3 on them. So we've done that one. So we keep going until we're out. Now, this is where it could raise misery. We return to, because it's got private on it. Any explanation card marked as private, roll the black die and compare the result with the empathy of each character present. I'm going to risk that. I'm going to put 2 exploration cards, because I'm talking about 2 different things at once here. So to search the heap, we raise 2 exploration cards and raise the noise by 1. Or raise the noise by 1 and roll for the noise. I want to try and avoid, I think we're pushing it. So we're going to send 2 exploration cards back. Noise still goes up, but we don't have to roll for the noise. So I'm going to get the stuff and then we're going to resolve this part. So we turn this over and we're going to look at the heap. Broken guitar, a shell, and we roll the special findings dice again. So broken guitar and a shell. Now, at least with the shell, there's no weight to it, so that can come back and it doesn't add to our weight. The guitar, certain characters use that on the misery, and it's to do with the spirit. It's resolved there on the face. So, for instance, Catcher here, if there's a guitar in the storage, lower one chosen character's misery by 1. So you can at some point repair the guitar. So it can be useful. I've never managed to do that, but again, you'll get used to me saying that in this game. So we've got those, but we get to roll the dice as well. So we put them in there. I seem to have got loads of stuff early on and think I'm doing all right, and then it all goes to pot. So let's roll for special findings. Now, we want an 8 or a 9 is raw food, and we have not got any food at the moment. It's a 4. 1 to 4 is nothing. So they found nothing there. But we now have to roll for character's empathy. So, as you see, mark out 5, catch you 7. So, if it's 7 or below, her misery goes up to 1. Oh, she's already on 1, so it'll go up to 2. Marco's, if it's 5 or below, his goes to 1. So, I want a high number here. Don't know what that is, and I'm not going to look. I'm going to roll again. And it's a 6. So, could be worse. Catcher goes to misery 2. Still got 3 actions. Marco was alright, so it didn't bother him too much stealing that. But Catcher, it did bother because we've met those people. So we've done that finding. Now to the next one. Peek through the keyhole. Return 1 exploration card to look at the next card from the unknown deck. Or enter, raise the noise by 1. Or roll for the noise. I'm going to put an exploration card back. Oh, now, this is furniture. How many cards have we got? We got 2 more. I don't want to raise the noise. This is going to be my last one because I'm turning those in, so we don't raise the noise. Because we'd have to raise it to 4 and then roll again for the noise. So I don't want to risk that. We draw and resolve 1 card from the finds deck. Remember, it's marked private as well, so we're going to have to have this again. We hope Catcher could be in trouble with a misery here, but let's see. So findings card, furniture. Herb, book, moonshine, mechanical part. So herb, book, mechanical part, and moonshine, which we may have to use. So these all got, and again, it did have the special findings one, so let's roll again. 8 or 9 for raw food, and it's a 1, so nothing. We've got no food. So that goes back in there. The civilians one, as it's again the scavenging, shuffle this card back into the residence deck. So we've done our scavenging. Exploration cards go back in. The trade 1630 there stays on that. That's reset to 1 for tomorrow. See where we go. We now choose our findings. So we can actually add as many resources, wood components as water, to the findings pile as we wish. So we need to decide what to take back with us. Now, certain ones don't weigh anything, so we can take those back without any worries. So lockpick, we didn't use the herb, the shell, the book, we can carry them. Smaller items. What do we need? We need now. Let's have a look at what we need. We need the shovel. I'd like a mechanical part. I'd like a filter. I'd like the moonshine. Don't want both mechanical parts. I'm not going to take the electrical part for now. We've already got a weapon part, although we're banking on keeping that because something could happen in the night phase. Let's bank on it, and I'm going to say no to the broken guitar. So we've got a weight of 4 there, and we can carry up to 8 with Marco and Catcher's inventory. So what I'm going to take is 4 water. So that's what they're going to bring back. So that takes it up to 8 because each one's 1. Because we've got quite a bit of wooden compounds a minute. We can do that next scavenging phase. So that's what they're going to bring back. So the scavenging phase is done. Now we're on to night raid. So we choose weapons for the guards. We haven't got any weapons. The weapon part is not a weapon yet. So we draw and resolve the top card of the night's deck phase. So I'll talk through it. If we'd have managed to do a board up token, which I did warn we wouldn't do, we'd have got away with it. But we removed this card from the game. So that events card has gone now. Now, night raid, please be nice. No, it's not. So hobos. They're going to damage. They're going to take any 3 tokens or resources, starting with the most expensive one. So it's most expensive and working the way. Oh, the lockpick's gone. Yeah, the lockpick will be gone, you'll see. No wounds at least, so she's not going to get wounded. I have to remove this card from the game. So just put it there for now. Now, she's unarmed. So we've got the unarmed dice. This is where the prowess comes in that she can re-roll once. That's what the prowess means. So let's take the unarmed and let's roll. And what we want is these fists. Ignore that, that's for something else. So it's a fist. 2 means we avoid 2 damage or wounds, our choice. So we'd get it down to just losing 1 item, which will be the lockpick. That's why I said the lockpick's going, because 2 is the most on here. But there's 1 2 on 1 1. 1 1. So nothing. But we can re-roll because the prowess is 1. Let's see what we do. Nothing again. So she didn't do any good. So it is for 3 items are going to be taken, the most expensive. So these are all worth 1. So it's 1, 2, 3. So the hobos have taken those. Lockpick's gone. Fortunately, we've got another one. Weapon part's gone. And we just discarded the weapon part. This is why. This is why you choose what you're taking home before you know that, because these guys are out scavenging. They don't know what's happened back in the house. So as far as they know, we already had a weapon part. They didn't need another. So, and we'll remove this card from the game. So that one's gone. That Night Raid's gone. So it could have been worse. Some far worse cards in there. Finally, with each passing night, the situation is getting more grim. So the ones with the red corner that we set aside, which are these cards over the side here, 2 of these needed to be added in any combination. Now, at the end of chapter 1, they all come into play. You can sometimes avoid the residence ones. Night raids tend to happen every night. So what I tend to do, usually, is just add 2 residence cards. Don't add any night raid ones, because some of those are horrendous. So 2 residence cards go into this pack here. And shuffle them about. So the game gets more and more difficult, as if you need that. Okay, so that's the Night Raid done. So it's now dawn. The scavenging party come back with their haul. And it might look quite good. But no food there, is there? Which is a problem. We can do something about the cold. We've got plenty of wood, so we've got the heater. So we can build a few things next turn. So we then assign meds and bandages. We haven't got any. So if there's any illness or wounds, fortunately we haven't got any of those either. We're not in that bad a state. We've got 2 misery for catcher. Did I miss? I missed rolling, didn't I, when I had that civilian? Because we took a heap and then we took the furniture. I should have rolled for the empathy again, so I'm going to do that now. So again, we need 8, 9 or 10. And we have got an 8, so that's good. So they don't increase the misery, fortunately. Because at 3, she's getting towards danger levels. I'm going to leave it over there now because of what we're doing. So assign meds and bandages. There's no wounds and no illness. Plus, we've got no wounds. We've got no bandages and got no meds. There's nothing we could do. So we can't add anything to there. So we now draw a fate card. Ignore the bottom bit. Raise the illness of all ill characters who did not take any meds or herbal meds by 1. No illness. Discard herbal meds, med tokens from all characters. If cold tokens minus board ups equal 4 or more, raise the illness of 3 chosen characters by 1. 4 cold, no board ups. So that's what we've got to do next. So let's get some illness tokens. Illness is an absolute nightmare because it quickly reduces the number of actions. So these are all done down to 2 actions. And as you get to 2, you're down to 1 action. So that's not good. Exchange the nearest locations. This is where your location changes come in. So this hotel has gone. It's removed from the game. So we never got to explore the hotel. This one moves closer. And the central square moves. Now, I will explain when I say it moves closer. Obviously, buildings don't move. Oh, sorry, you can't see that. Sorry, I've changed those from... Let me just do that again. So we move the hotel off. Move these here. How you explain them moving closer, inanimate objects, is you're becoming more familiar with the surroundings. So it took you longer to find the ruined villa last time. You've been there, so you can go straight there next time if you want. So that's how they explained locations getting nearer. And the new location is a derelict squat, which is a closed door and a basement entrance. Don't know if I've had that one. So So exchange that. Resolve weight tokens, then discard them. We haven't got any weight tokens. You'll see about those. Well, you might do. Then we resolve Spirit A on all character cards, and then shuffle this card back into the deck. So I'm going to shuffle that back, and then we resolve Spirit A. Remember I talked about that on the cards. So, where are we? I need to stop saying so. Let's do catchy first. Discard 1 coffee, Spirit A, from the storage, or raise Catcher's misery by 1. We don't have any coffee. So her misery is becoming critical. Let's replace that with misery of 3, and it's starting to affect her now because she's lost an action, although with the illness she'd lost that anyway. Marco. If any character in the group is hungry, level 3, raise Marco's misery by 1. Well, nobody's at level 3 hunger, so we're alright with his. And Amelia, on A, discard 1 coffee from the storage or raise Amelia's misery by 1. So she's now become miserable. So we've got 2 coffee addicts. So it's important to try and get some coffee if we can. Next turn. That's the fate done. And we now draw 2 narrative action cards. These tend to be good ones. There is some good in the game. So, Night Owl play at the beginning of the evening phase. We choose 1 character that can perform all their actions again, as if it was the day action phase. So, none of them have got 3 actions left, but Marco's still got... So they've all got 2, so that could be useful. We have to pick one of these. Play when crafting any fitting. Ignore the requirements for one of the resource token type. Well, we've got plenty of resources at the minute, so I'm going to use that, and I'm going to put it here, just right in front of everything, so I don't forget about it. That one gets shuffled back in the pack. Then once we've done that, in the day action phase, it's discarded, removed from the game, so it doesn't happen again. So that's that. And that, oh no, we've got alcohol. I've not used this one. I might do this. Moonshine, raise 1 character's fatigue by 2 and lower their misery by 1. So we could discard that Moonshine. I'm pretty sure I'm going to do this. I've not used it before. That misery, because she could sleep. So yes, so what I'm doing, because we've got her fatigue's going up by 2. As you can see, it's very quick for things to spiral out of control. And we've also got the fact that there's no food for these guys. So misery is down to 2, but fatigue has gone up to 2. And we need to discard the Moonshine. So that's gone. But as I say, it's discarded. It's not removed from the game, so that goes into the box. So it's still in this box. We've not actually discarded any of these items from the game. But, and there is another point which we have to check for misery if anybody's died or abandoned the group, which nothing's not happened yet. Give me time. Let's look back on the day. How do we do? What will we need next? What must be scavenged or trade? And what should we build? Let's see what tomorrow will bring. And then we go back to the morning phase. So let's have a look at how we've done actually. So we'll start with an event card on the next video. The turns don't normally take as long as this, but obviously I've been explaining everything in detail. So let's have a look. How did we do? We did all right. We've got a fair bit of stuff here. We've got components. We've got water. We've got no food, obviously, as I've said. That was the big thing we didn't get. What will we need next? Food. I think we need to build a bed as well, because that's awkward, because Catches fatigues 2. She only gets 1 action. And I'm not going to... Building the bed will be the first action of the day, so she can't sleep yet. So we do need to build that. I think building a bed is critical. I want to get the heater going to get rid of some cold token at least, possibly 2. And we'll search that furniture there as well to see what we get. So that's where we are at the moment. Yeah. So-so start. I've had better starts, I've had worse starts. But that's the end of part 1. As I say, I'll start to try and go a bit faster, because otherwise you're going to end up with like 15 videos, and it isn't a slow playing game. You get through it in between now and 2 hours. You can skim through it, and you get in a roll with it, and it does go very quickly. So thank you for tuning in. I'm going to try and get all this complete over the next couple of days, so I will be uploading them one after another. So you're not going to have to watch one video and then wait for 2 weeks for the next one to come up. Okay, thank you. I will see you all soon.